Okay, this project recipe for Go Fetch slash Perfect Kitty. I guess they just made one for both collections. But I think this one can be used over and over for lots of collections. Okay, let's go over the paper first, because I was just saying how I feel like it's a lot of paper, but I guess maybe it's not because they use two pattern papers for the background. And then I guess we don't have to do that if we don't want to. I do think this time it adds that pop of color that we might want to get. So I am going to follow along uh, very closely to what they have. I'd probably be changing up my photo placement and adding an extra photo. They have 5 on the 2-page layout. I'm pretty sure I want to do at least 6. Okay, so these 2 are for my background pages. It's actually going to be the blue on the left and the brown on the right-hand side. And then we need 1 piece of icon paper. I went ahead and numbered this in case you're not using the same paper. You'll know that this is going to be the first piece that we cut, and it could be an icon piece. And mine is not directional, but if yours is, then it's going to run horizontally here, but here it's going to run I'm sorry, it's going to run vertically here, and over here it's going to run horizontally. So you might want to take that into consideration before choosing your paper and making sure that it's not going to bother you if they, for some reason, are going different directions. And the second piece that they have us bringing in is actually a piece of cardstock. So that's kind of good. So it kind of cuts down, limits our amount of paper as far as pattern paper. So this will be what I refer to as paper number 2. It'll be the second one that we cut. And you're going to see it here on the project recipe as the mat behind the photos over here on the right-hand side, and then as mats, photo mats, the photos on the left-hand side, and also for some of the punch outs. In fact, I think both pieces we can decide what we want to use for a punch out. Okay. Then they have us bringing in this new style mat card. The other side is a plain tone-on-tone paper. They went and they printed the mat cards on this paper. They've done this actually once before, but I think it was a collection that came from Japan originally. And they do this a lot for the Japan client base, but this is the first time they're doing it here. You can use it for either side. So I guess that's good. And they're going to bring this in as some photo mats here on top of that large blue block. And you can use either side, or you can pick some of the cards. So if you didn't have this piece, I would bring in either a tonal piece or a piece of cardstock. Okay. Then they also are going to use it on this pattern, on this project recipe right over here as a title, and over here as a subtitle. So they do incorporate some of the blocks on the opposite side if you would like. But on this side, the left-hand side, that's where I'm going to squeeze in another photo, I think. I think there's enough room here. I do like this "You Are One Lucky Dog" because, you know, I'm going to be doing some dog photos today. So of our dog, and, you know, she's pretty lucky dog. So I like that. So I'm going to have to think about how I want to incorporate that and see how everything fits. But that's my plan. I'm going to keep the decorations probably very similar to what they have here. This up here is a border sticker. If you didn't have a border sticker, or that you wanted to use for your collection, then a punch out of some kind, either a border making cartridge or border punch, would work very nicely up there as well. Lots of room on this layout. Okay, so let's go ahead and get cutting. And we'll start with paper number 1, our icon piece. And again, mine is not directional, but yours may be. And we need to cut 2 of them at 2.5 inches by 12 inches. So 2.5. And then this one is going to come right over here to the right-hand page. And then one more 2.5 by 12. And this one we're actually going to flip upside down, which is a nice, cute red piece that has a bunch of text, dog-related text on it. And then this last piece should measure 7 inches. And it does, mine does about. So we're going to turn this and cut it at 10 inches. And then this one will be left over if you want to use that to punch out for some embellishments later on. And this piece is going to come on the left-hand side, and it's going to look something like this, overlapping the red piece. There's number 2 paper, which happens to be cardstock this time. We're going to need a 10-inch cut. So I'm going to cut mine first at 10 inches to kind of spare this 2-inch piece over here at the end so that I can use it for some punch outs later if I want. So I have this whole piece that I can use. Then I'm going to take and turn it. It's 10 inches wide. And I'm going to trim it down to 7. So we should end up with a 10 by 7, just like we did over here. And that one's going to go on the right-hand page. The same layout, just reversed paper and stuff. And then the rest of this, we want to cut into some mats, but I think I want to wait on cutting my mats because I might change my photos over here. But this piece would be used to make mats for the left-hand page. Okay, so if you want to follow along exactly like they have, then you would want to cut this into a 4x6 mat and a 4x4 mat. Okay, let's bring in our pages because this is the layout. It's not too difficult. I think that's a pretty nice, easy one for us. Not a lot of cutting. And let's see, they're bringing a 1/2 inch from the edge on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere mine. Okay. 1/2 inch. Oops. Okay, and then this one is going to overlap our red piece, and it's going to come down about 2 3/4 inches from the top. You want to be exact. Let's see, 2 3/4. So right here. I came down at 2 3/4, and then I'm going to end up over here with about a 1/2 inch or so, a little less, a little more than a 1/2 inch. Not too terribly, not going to change it either way if you're a little off. Okay. And same with this one. 2 3/4. And I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch. Okay. Go. And that's our layout. And I'm going to grab my photos. I'm going to just place my photos here, and then I'm going to come back and put my border sticker. Just don't want to forget. Let's see. I'm going to have to trim down some of these. Trying to remember, I know I kind of had an idea what I was gonna do here. These are gonna come in, I think, have some of that blue showing, and then, oh, maybe not. So I am going to mat these over here with this red paper. So we need to trim this down and figure out how we're gonna cut this. It looks like it's in 4-inch sections, so that's good. I do want to save this one. And the lucky dog. Okay, let's keep that. Put this one down to 6 inches and see. Okay. There's one mat. I do want to save this one. Now I have to decide which ones I want to save because I need a 6-inch mat. So I would have to use this dog's rule or come on this side and use a journaling box. Let's use a journaling box. I might want to save that dog's rule for a future page. And that'll give me my 2 mats. It's gonna look like this. Let's move this out of the way. 1, 2. Oh, I actually need 3. I feel like I'm covering up all that blue paper behind. So I'm just gonna kind of arrange them. Let's bring this one down. There we go. Okay, that looks like it fits well. Let me use some repo just in case. Okay, whoops. One more. Let's see. Okay, to get my photos to fit, they need to be 5.5 by 3.5. 3.5 would be, okay, it's not too bad. And there we go. Okay, that one's gonna go right like that. Could actually go 3 3/4 if you wanted a little bit more of your photo. And I'm gonna use this one to help me. And then this one. Actually, let's use that one again. Let's do this 3.5. And then our unconditional love comes right over here. And I might trim that down instead of cutting my photos down. There we go. I like how that fits a little bit better. Oh, kind of wish she was looking the other way. I might switch this around. Go ahead and trim this one down. This is my dog when she was a puppy. So this is back in 2016, when at the time we were still raising her as a guide dog because we did not know we were going to keep her. So of course we have a ton of photos of her. I've done so many layouts from this year. My daughters, at the time, we thought we were going to return the dog to go into training, and so they printed all these photos and got me all the stuff to make a scrapbook. Then we ended up keeping her, and I just now combining them into our family album instead. I'm trying to decide what I want to do over here. Definitely want to mat this photo because I want it to pop out. And then instead of just one photo, I would like to bring in two. Let's see here. This one is the same day as that. So let's see what happens if I cut it into a 4x4. A lot of sky there I can get rid of. And this one, I'm pretty sure I can cut into a 4x4 also. And I want this one close to this photo here. And they have it like this. So I'm only going to mat one. Cut it into a 4x6. It's changing the where they have it, the orientation of the photos. I just kind of swap those around. Do I want these? I don't have enough paper to do both. Not with what I brought in, without some fancy trimming. Okay. Oh, I do like it matted. Okay, I might go grab some more blue so I can give that a proper mat. Let's go ahead and adhere this one down. And this one. There we go. Okay, go ahead and get my subtitle. I'm going to get the border stickers on before I mat those and attach those. Let's see. You really can go as high or low as you want. Looks like they came down about 1 inch. I think I'm going to come up a little higher and maybe just have about 1/2 inch. And I'm starting the top of my sticker at the 1/2 inch mark. That's cute. It's like a bunch of little license kind of collar charms. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could probably poke out the little dot in the middle of each one, but I'm not going to do that. So we set a 1/2 inch. Super cute. It adds a lot of color up here. Now I can really play around with the spacing over here. And for this, I think I'm going to fussy cut that out. If you really want to, you can save the scrap from this as a photo mat. Because all it would have is that one little cut up there at the top. And then this, see, I'm going to have to play with this. Let me go get some more blue paper so I can mat this one properly, and then I can make a better decision. Consider the fact that I was going to add more photos, that I would need more paper. Let's see, will it fit? Nope. Always try my scraps first. So we needed about I'm gonna do 4 1/2 half because everything else has a wider border. And I'm going to go ahead and put these on. It's hard to tell what side she's laying on. Okay. Trim this down. 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I do want some of my paper exposed right there, so we'll try that. One lucky dog. Is it gonna work? I think it's too big for my page. I could tuck. Do something like that. Let's cut out the dog's rule. See if we like that one better. Almost positive I'll have more photos coming that I will be able to use the one lucky dog. Okay. Let's see. It's just an awkward shape. Unless I'm going to trim this one down a little more. Three. So it's going to be a 3x3. Perfect. That one fits much better. Have to save this for another layout. And there we go. Okay, let me go ahead and get this page adhered down. I am ready to embellish. Let's see where they embellished to see if we like it. They embellished here, which would be right down here now. And then over here on this card, they did some embellishing here and here. These are stickers from the sticker sheet, except for the little doghouse, which I'm going to go ahead and punch out. I see what they did now. That's why they had two pieces of paper set aside. They had a blue scrap from the cardstock and the red left over because they double punched this. Let me point it. They double punched the doghouse. I think it's called Pet Palace. They double punched the house and they did a house in blue and the bone in red. But when you punch it, you get both. That's why I keep saying they double punched. Unless you can wiggle that little red piece out by itself. So let me go ahead and I do want a blue doghouse. That's cute. This is what you get. You get the little house and a little bone. You can use this red scrap for the bone by itself or this extra piece. But I think I'm going to look for a piece of red scrap instead because I could save that for a mat and this for another page. Looks like I was playing with this piece. I just need to slide it in to get the bone. Let's see. Let's turn it this way. There we go. This way I'm truly using a scrap. And I don't like the way that one cut. Let me do one more. There. That one's much nicer. Okay. Then let me get my little mat. Glued the little bone onto the house. It looks like this. That's cute. You could put however many houses you would like. There's a lot of room there. And even put the little blue bone over here if you want to. Somewhere over here. Maybe on the D. Okay. They have the little house right here next to the card. And let me grab the stickers. Lots of fun ones. We're not going to use any of these tonight, I don't think, but they are cute. let's see. Get our sheet back in here. What did they do? They used this little guy, peeking his head out right there, but I have less room. So what am I gonna do? Well, let's see if he fits. He's big. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's going to be on my picture because I brought those pictures down. But it's kind of cute. We're gonna go with that. Move our little bone for a minute. Then one of these little treat bones and a tennis ball, it looks like. Cute. So funny story, because we were training her to be a guide dog, we couldn't actually play tennis balls with her because we weren't allowed to teach her how to fetch. Because if she was going to be a guide dog and saw a ball while she's guiding a blind person and went to go run after it, they wouldn't want that. So we actually never taught her to fetch, and now to this day she is the worst fetcher. She just never learned. Even after we adopted her, we try so hard to get her to play fetch. She'll go get it one time and then she's like, now what? She looks at us like we're crazy. But anyway, but we know it's her training, and that's just what she was taught to do. So it's funny to see the tennis ball there, because at this point in her age, we were not using tennis balls. But I'm going to leave it there because it's cute. Okay, so the doghouse, actually I want to move it over just a tad so it's resting and touching the card. And then I believe they used one of these bones, these like rawhide looking bones. Kind of put it off to an angle like that. And then here they used this heart here. And I think I'm going to double my hearts and do something like this. Do two hearts together. I like that look. And it'll come right up here. You can pop that up onto some foam if you wanted to. I'm going to bring it over so that the L of unconditional is between the two hearts and up enough so it's not, the blue of the mat is not poking through. There we go. And I think that's it. I think that's all they had. It's very cute. Very, very cute. I like it a lot. Yeah, it looks like they raised a couple things up onto foam squares, but that's totally up to you. I'm going to come back through and give this a little bit of more repo, and then that's it.